Markets remain on edge as Middle East tension keeps the Strait of Hormuz closure and naval mine risk in focus. The global markets turmoil angle matters because the market issue is not only war risk. It is the inflation channel from energy supply. The tension is whether energy chokepoint risk turns into a durable change or simply a sharp data point. That is why the first read should stay close to the confirmed numbers: Hormuz chokepoint, 6-month risk, and the immediate checkpoint around energy inflation. For a market structure story, the useful readout is how capital, liquidity, rates, or risk appetite changes after the first move. The reason to keep watching is that the next checkpoint can change the meaning of the first move. The confirmed frame is that the supplied scenario points to a long clearance timeline, rising energy costs, and inflation pressure that could affect central bank policy into 2026. The key baseline details are mine clearance and supply chains, which give the story scale without requiring speculation. This scene grounds the viewer before the mechanism takes over. If the baseline changes, the rest of the story changes with it, because the consequence depends on whether those confirmed details keep holding. The most important baseline split is between what is already visible and what still needs confirmation from the next public signal. That scope keeps the segment focused on the mechanism that actually changes outcomes. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The structure matters because a chokepoint disruption can lift fuel prices, disturb supply chains, and make inflation harder to cool even if risk assets briefly bounce. That is the working engine behind global markets turmoil, and it explains why the event cannot be read only as a surface move. In this case, the mechanism connects Hormuz chokepoint with energy inflation. When that connection weakens, the story becomes less about the initial number and more about whether the system, market, or policy process can absorb stress. That mechanism is the reason a viewer should watch process quality, not just the largest number in the story. The pressure reaches Bitcoin and broader crypto may see unstable flows when traders move between inflation hedges, cash, energy plays, and defensive assets. For viewers, the useful question is who actually has to react: users, traders, issuers, regulators, operators, or institutions. Here, Strait Hormuz sits at the center of that reaction, while global markets shapes the next practical step. The consequence is strongest where the event changes access, trust, liquidity, compliance planning, or the cost of making a decision. That makes the impact measurable through behavior, not through hype around the topic. What is not proven yet is the open question is whether Iran cooperates on reopening and de-escalation, or whether clearance delays keep the pressure in place. That limit matters because the confirmed facts do not automatically prove the most aggressive interpretation. The safer split is to treat 6-month risk as established context, while leaving the unresolved part open until a stronger signal appears. That keeps the story useful without turning a partial data point into a conclusion. The open point should remain separate from the confirmed facts until a filing, market move, patch, data release, or official action closes the gap. If later evidence changes the read, the story should adjust around that evidence. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. The move to track is the next signal is tangible movement on straight access, mine clearance, diplomacy, and energy prices. For global markets turmoil, that is the point where the story either gains confirmation or stays stuck as an unresolved market, policy, security, or adoption question. The practical readout is to follow energy inflation alongside the supporting details: Bitcoin reaction and Hormuz chokepoint. If that next signal arrives, the story moves. If it does not, the only confirmed position is the one already visible in the evidence. The viewer should leave with one concrete checkpoint, not a prediction about where the market or policy process must go.